Okay, guys, pop quiz. What do you do? Quick, taunt, EX straight, tap. What goes through somebody's mind when they're choosing a combo route? I think a lot of people don't understand what it feels like to be in the pilot seat when you land a hit and you have potentially infinite number of options that you can do. Most of them are terrible, but there's a small set of options that actually do something that actually give you a combo and give you something to do. Maybe I can go into heavy dash straight, burn some bar. That might happen, that might whiff. I can do maybe like a random medium kick upper. I can do heavy kick upper, that's pretty good. I can do maybe like a V skill into an EX straight. So the idea being, there's a moment where you have to glance at all of the variables on the screen and understand the situation at hand. I want to break down how that works and what's going through a player's mind when they land a hit and they understand the tree of options available to them, because it's not just one option that can go. You choose to go down the optimal conversion for damage, the optimal conversion for meter build, or do you want to burn resources to get more out of it? Do you want to get more corner carry? These are the things that you have to judge in a split second. And if you try to juggle all these options and you don't have the answer ready at your fingertips, you're going to end up just getting crossed between them and you're going to end up doing nothing. You're going to drop the combo, right? Generally speaking, Street Fighter V combos are easy. The physical input is easy. It's knowing what to do in the right moment that's difficult, and then not shitting the bed, essentially. Let's recreate the scenario and let's set up some variables here. Let's say we are point blank when we do this. So as we saw earlier, heavy kick upper works. I can also do heavy dash straight, but after heavy dash straight, I know that's the end of the combo. Does heavy low even work? Heavy low works if you just want to end it right there. I don't know why you would do that. And also tap works. So what can we do after these? So let's go with the heavy kick upper one. So that's pretty cool. I can get a juggle. When I land this hit, I can see that, okay, I don't have any meter. I can't do anything else besides do the heavy kick upper, and then I can do medium dash straight there. I know that's going to work. So that's a very solid combo route if I land this crush counter in this situation like this. Boom, I have my go-to option available. All right, perfect. I don't need a lab anymore. Right. Wrong. What if, instead of being point blank when you land this crush counter, what if instead you're a little bit further back? This might seem sort of like the same situation, but it's not. There you go. At this distance, it might look like you're landing the same crush counter. It's the same thing. Now I can just go down into my memory banks and visualize my combo tree of options and collapse the wave function like this is quantum computing, and then select heavy kick upper to medium dash straight. But there's another variable, right? The spacing you're at when that first hit connects impacts what options you have here. If I try to go for my go-to combo, which I do when I land the crush counter up close, which is heavy kick upper after to medium dash straight, it's not going to work at this distance. Right? It's not going to work when it's spaced out like this. And I'm going to drop the combo and I'm going to feel dumb and potentially lose the game for missing a big opening. So that's one more variable you have to keep in mind, right? I have to not only pay attention to the starter, but the spacing, right? So what other options did we have here? We can look at it. So one other option here we tried earlier was tap. Tap works from there. Tap should work from up close. Yep, tap works from up close. And if we push it as far as possible where it still crush counters, tap works from there. So look at that. Tap works, it seems like, from every range. So maybe tap is the more consistent option, right? Maybe we don't have to even try going for the heavy kick upper. Maybe just doing the tap route is the best option to do. Let's compare the damage to see which one we would want to do if we're optimizing, right? So if we do crush counter, crouching fierce, heavy kick upper, medium dash straight, it's 258 damage and 405 stun. Let's try with tap. Tap does 258, 405, the exact same damage and stun. But the tap route has the added benefit of working regardless of what distance the Crouching Fierce connects at. If this Crouching Fierce crush counters, you can be assured that your tap follow-up will reach. In this situation, it's clear to me that I don't really need to worry about doing the upper route, because the tap route, it eliminates one of the variables. I can think less, use less brain power when making this decision, because I know that if I land this crush counter crouching fierce, I'm going to go to tap. Now, is there a downside to that? Of course. If you don't know how tap works, it's not a normal special move where you do an input and press a button. It's a special move that happens when you hold two buttons and then release them. So I have to have taps stored to do this combo. However, once again, I can solve that. I can mitigate that issue. When I press Crouching Fierce Punch, I do a trick where I press it with 2 buttons always. I press Crouching Fierce and Medium Punch around the same time. In Street Fighter, when you press 2 buttons at the same time, the higher strength one takes priority. So if I press these at the same time, I'm going to get Heavy Punch. So that means that if I press Crouching Fierce Punch and it whiffs or it doesn't crush counter, no big deal. But if it does crush counter, I'm holding the buttons when I press the move so that no matter what, during that motion, I build the tap. So once again, I'm making my life simpler. I'm reducing the amount of variables, because what if I was thinking like, oh no, I can only go through this route if I'm already holding a tap some other way. That's not the case. You can build the tap during it. So once again, there's more variables here I'm stacking up to make sure I'm able to do this route. Okay, now what if we add meter into the mix? Okay, well, that once again makes things a bit more complicated. So if I have 1 stock, should I do this route, EX low, 286, 440? Should I do this route, 293, 440? Should I do something completely different? 261, 400, right? You have all these options in front of you. Like when I land this hit, there's many options I can see, but the art here of the combo tree and collapsing the combo tree function to get the actual combo that'll do damage is having these options well rehearsed and knowing the situations that you can use these. So when I land this crush counter during this split second, I'm glancing at my meter. Do I have a bar? Did I build that bar to extend with EX, right? So I'll do this portion, the crush counter, Crouching Fierce into the tap without having to worry about the meter. But after that tap juggles, I'm looking at the bar. If I have meter, I'm probably going to do the EX straight for more damage and corner carry. If I don't have the meter, I can't just input the EX straight input. That'll mess me up, because if I do that, it's going to give me heavy dash straight. That's how I input my EX moves, right? With heavy punch and medium punch. The combo will drop. So I have to make the decision to do the medium dash straight or to do the EX dash straight as the combo is progressing. So during certain parts of the combo, I'm also monitoring my resources to see which branching option I'm going to go off to. Do I go off into the medium punch dash straight route, or do I go into the EX dash straight route? And there's even more options, right? What if I have 2 meters instead of just 1? I can actually extend this further. I can do that combo. Is that combo worth it? You get progressively less and less damage as you go through the combo due to damage scaling. If you're only worried about getting to the corner, then maybe it's not worth it, right? Maybe it's not worth doing this whole route. It's 355 damage, 495 stun, which is definitely very good damage, right? Does 60 more damage than this. However, there's times when it's not optimal to do that. So I have to make the decision whether or not to use the resources and extend the combo to do that. These are the variables you're juggling. On top of that, there's stun. We'll build up some stun on Alex here. In this situation, if I do 1 bar, no stun. If I do 2 bars, it stuns. However, this stun on 2 bars, you have to consider a lot of factors here. I started with a crush counter. Crush counters scale your combos, meaning the follow-up is going to do way less damage because it has a large number of hits involved. So when I get this guaranteed stun here, sure, that's great. I get a follow-up combo, but how much damage am I actually going to be able to do here? Right? 355. At best, I got almost 100 more damage, and now he's gonna have no stun, and he's not gonna have threat of being stunned. On the other hand, what if I just let him get up? Look at the situation he's in. He's at 99% stun in the corner against Rog with no defensive options, having to guess for his life. Because if he guesses incorrectly in this situation, and for example, I throw him right there, look how much damage this follow-up's gonna do. In most situations, you're going to be dead. I got an extra like 436 damage out of that. Rather than getting an extra 100 out of it, I got an extra 436 out of it. The point being, these are the factors that you're considering while you're doing the combo. A high-level player is looking at the meter, they're looking at the positioning, they're looking at the stun, they're looking at the life, they're weighing all these options because there's so many ways you can go in this route, and these are the variables that you got to have ready to crunch in your head And sometimes there's a cheat sheet, right? The cheat sheet for this one is actually don't worry about doing this route, right? Because it doesn't do any more damage. Just always use tap, because tap does more damage and works from any distance if you don't mess it up, of course. So that's the cheat sheet for crouching fierce punch. At the end of the day, after crunching all the numbers, crouching fierce punch into tap is going to be your best option. Don't worry about the heavy kick upper. However, there are exceptions. What if you're too close to the corner? Oh. I before E except after C, and when you're too close to the corner, and when you crush counter from a backdash, and when you crush counter from an anti-air, and when you're too far away so the last active frame of the crouching fierce punch doesn't actually crush counter. And you see what I'm saying, guys? This is what fighting games are all about. It's all about building up this situational knowledge. This is what's going through players' minds when they land this hit. When that flash goes off, that crush counter, they're thinking of all these options. Because if I'm here, I think this is close enough. Yeah, but if I'm like here, it starts getting questionable. So here, what I do is I do a delay light punch. At this point, you have to start altering your combo route to adjust for the situation. So that's the idea of all of this. And I just wanted to try to communicate that to people who maybe don't play as much or are more spectators. Like, what is going through a player's mind when they land this one hit? They're looking for that counter notification. They're looking at the spacing. They're looking at the V meter, the regular meter. They're looking at the stun, the health, the positioning on the screen, how many resources either player has. And in that split moment, all those variables are crunched. The combo tree waveform is collapsed into the option they choose to make reality. And you got to do all that and juggle those variables without dropping the combo. And that's where the difficulty comes from. It's not about actually inputting the sequence. If you know what you're doing ahead of time, it's so easy to open up training mode and input these buttons in the right order. It's not hard at all. The difficult part is training enough to have all this situational awareness to be able to pull it out and in clutch moment, last minute, last hit, and get the W. And that's all I got for this video, guys. If you learned something or you enjoyed this type of content, please let me know by maybe liking the video or subscribing to the channel. You know, like 40% of you aren't subbed these days, so I really appreciate you guys subbing to the channel. It means you like what I'm doing and want to see more of it. And that's all I got for you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.